This is a project in Sebring. The client was converting a residential property to commercial and didn't want to deal with the lawn maintenance and wanted something that looked nice. So the first thing we do is install our trusty cardboard, and this is me putting the stakes down to try and hold it in place because here comes the mulch. Took a few days and I was worried about the cardboard getting too wet and too flimsy, but it worked. That Buttwell did a great job of dropping off that pine bark mulch. So I use recycled cardboard. I was part of a Toys for Tots fundraiser and we saved the damaged and dirty boxes, and the best part of it, no tape. You can see me patching up the small areas. We have to make sure it's overlapped, has a good coverage so that the weeds find it really difficult to poke through. The cardboard is very effective at blocking the weeds, better than a lot of the commercial products which leave a legacy of plastic there. This stuff will biodegrade in place, but not before doing its job. It takes about a year for it to dissolve. And I'm using the wastebasket method because it's easier just to fill and dump than to shovel the mulch into a wheelbarrow, and I didn't want to damage the cardboard, which was already weak from several days of rain. So that's my method. And that wet mulch sure is heavy in the September Florida sun. So I was getting my steps in and getting my hydration. I like to shovel once, even though this is strenuous labor. I'm all for getting my labor in. I just don't want to overexert or make unnecessary movements. So I put a little water onto the cardboard to soften it up and make it conform to the ground and stay put a lot better. And I'm also using water to flatten some of the contours in those trenches I dug. Those little channels are just a few inches deep, but it holds the mulch in place without it having to put some kind of border. So I got about 80 plants for this section. It was about 18 by 48. And there was also a back section. I put the cardboard down and mulch. We're going to select plants later, but these are primarily native. There's some commercial products. There's a dwarf firebush, but I'm not a fanatic about my native plants as long as they're beneficial. So I leave a little bowl around each one of the plants there. And on the right, I would take my trowel and I would punch holes into the wet cardboard, use that little punch out, take the plant out of the pot, put one small piece of the cardboard in the bottom of the pot because it's so sandy here, and then dig a hole slightly deeper, and then use the excess soil to fill my new pot, and I got a new pot ready to go. And those of you who are talking about the seeds of weeds, well, the best way to get rid of seeds you don't want is to let them grow, and then you pull them out. And I do low scale nursery, and as you can see, no big equipment, so it's something that is attainable. And there you have it. There's a list of plants in the comments, and thanks for watching.